friends, happy Thursday. Welcome back to math today. Today for math, you will need your Envision book and a pencil. Go ahead and grab the materials that you need. All right, welcome back, friends. We're going to turn to page 49 for our solve and share. Go ahead and pause the video and flip to that page, and then we'll go over our learning target. Okay, our learning target for today is I can read and write number 0. We practiced that number yesterday and we practiced the number rhyme for it. We said that the number 0 represents nothing, zilch, nada. We've been counting our magnets here to help us practice. And as I see in front of me, I have 2 magnets in my hand. So if I want to show that I have 2, I can write the number 2 to say, oh, there are 2 magnets. If I take one away, now I have how many in my hand? 1. So I can write the number 1 to show, oh, I have 1 magnet. But if I take that guy away, now I have none, 0 magnets. So when we write our 0, we have our 0 rhyme to help us form that number correctly. So our 0 rhyme goes like this. Down to the left to find my hero. Back to the top, I've made my 0. We always start at the top just like we do with our letters and other numbers. So we're going to take a look at our guided practice, or our solve and share on page 49. Our directions tell us that Alex needs pencils and crayons to do his work. Alex does not see any crayons though. How can he show how many pencils and crayons he has? So in his thinking bubble up here, he's thinking about the supplies that he has. Inside of his pencil pouch, let's count how many pencils there are. We're going to count and mark them out together. We're going to use our pencils today. I'm using markers so that you can see it better. Ready? Let's count and mark out the pencils. 1, 2, 3. How many pencils are there? 3. They give us our boxes to color in to show how many for each supply. So we're going to look for that pencil, which is right here, and we're going to color in 3 boxes. So we have 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so by looking at my boxes, I see that all 3 are filled in. So Alex knows he has 3 pencils. Now look in his pencil pouch again. Do you see any crayons in there? I don't either. There are 0 crayons in his pencil pouch. So do we need to color any of these boxes? No, sirree. We're going to leave that blank to show that there are 0 crayons in his pencil pouch. Good job. Today we're going to practice counting and writing to represent our groups. Okay, so go ahead and flip to the next page. On page 50, we'll do our guided practice. Just like we've been doing, we're going to count and mark out the object and write the number to represent. So let's start with number 1. We have some colored pencils in this cup. Let's count out and mark. Ready? 1, 2, 3. There are 3 colored pencils. Let's trace our number 3 and say our rhyme. Around the tree, around the tree. That's the way to make a 3. They even gave us our starter dots to make 2 more. Let's make them. Ready? Around the tree, around the tree. That's the way to make a 3. Make sure you don't have any floating 3s. You want your around the trees to touch those lines. Let's do 1 more. Ready? Around the tree, around the tree. That's the way to make a 3. Good. If you need more time to practice, you can pause the video and do that. If not, let's move over to number 2. Look inside the cup for number 2. Do you see any supplies inside the cup? No. So that means there are 0 supplies. Let's trace our 0 to show that we know there are not any supplies. Down to the left to find my hero. Back to the top, I've made my 0. Good. They already gave us another dotted one. Let's trace it. Down to the left to find my hero. Back to the top, I've made my 0. Okay. Last one. Let's start with our dot and say our rhyme. Down to the left to find my hero. Back to the top, I've made my 0. Excellent job, friends. If you need more time, you can pause the video. If not, we're going to move to the next page to continue practicing. The next page is actually our independent practice that you guys are going to do on your own and submit to your teacher's Google Classroom. On this page, you're going to do the same thing by counting and marking out and writing your numbers. And then at the bottom, they don't give you the starter dots. So up here, you have more practice with your starter dots of how to write your numbers. Down here, you're on your own. But remember, when you're counting and writing, you're going to do 3. They give you 3 spots to write your numbers to practice 3 times, okay? So keep that in mind as you're doing this. All right, we're going to skip that page for now so you can come back and practice on your own. And we're going to go to page 52. Everybody turn to page 52 and say 52, woohoo. All right. So on number 9, what it tells us to do is to count the balls in the box and then write the number to tell how many there are. Well, look inside that box right there. It's empty. We have 0 balls. So on this side, we're just going to write 1 0 to show we don't have any inside the box. Our learning target for today is to really, really practice this number right here, our 0. So it's okay if you need to erase and try again. We want to make sure that we start at the very top on that blue line, go all the way down to the bottom and back to the top. If it's not touching the lines, then it's a floating 0. We don't want that guy, okay? All right, once you're finished writing your nice 0, let's move over to number 10. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to count the balls in the box and write the number. Let's count and mark out. Ready? 1, 2. And now we're going to write the number 2. First a candy cane, then a shoe. That's the way to make a 2. Good. All right. Same thing for number 11. Here we go. We're going to count. Oh, there's just 1 red ball in that box. We're going to write the number. Start at the top and down your run. That's the way to make a 1. Okay. And then over to number 12. Do you see any balls in the box? I don't either, so we're going to write the number 0. Down to the left to find my hero. Back to the top, I've made my 0. We don't have to mark anything out because there's nothing in there. Okay, now that we've learned our number that comes before 1, the number 0, we're going to write our numbers in order from 0 all the way to number 5. We're going to write 1 number on each line. Just like when we read, write, and count, we go from left to right, like a windshield wiper in your car when it washes the rain away. So let's start on the left with our number 0. Let's say our rhyme. Ready? Down to the left to find my hero. Back to the top, I've made my 0. Okay, moving over, let's make our 1. Start at the top and down you run. That's the way to make a 1. And then the number that comes after 1 is 2. Let's make our 2. First a candy cane, then a shoe. That's the way to make a 2. What comes after 2? 3. Let's make our 3. Around the tree, around the tree. That's the way to make a 3. Good. What comes after 3? 4. Let's make our 4. Down and over and down once more. That's the way to make a 4. And last number, what comes after 4? 5. Let's make our 5. Straight line down, halfway around, head on top. 5 is found. Good job, friends. Excellent. Kiss your brains and tell yourself, I did great. Very good. Now we have a challenger problem at the bottom, number 14. It says to draw 0 counters and write the number to tell how many on this side. And then on the other side, it says to draw a different number between 1 and 5 and tell how many there are. So what we're going to do on this side, we're going to draw 0 shapes because our directions tell us to do that. So if we have 0 shapes and 0 shapes to mark out, we're going to write our number to represent that. So let's make our 0. Down to the left to find my hero. Back to the top, I've made my 0. Okay, and then next to it, it says to pick a number between 1 and 5 to represent. So that we're all practicing the same, to check ourselves, let's do 3. Let's make 3 triangles. Ready? 1, 2, 3. And then let's count and mark them out to make sure that we have 3. 1, 2, 3. And let's write our 3 to represent that group of shapes. Good job. If you need more time to do those things, go ahead and pause the video and do that. If you're ready to move on, then you're going to flip back to page 51, and you're going to do what we just practiced. You're going to count, mark out, and write your numbers 3 times. Remember to start at the top, okay? Keep up the great work, friends, and I will see you tomorrow for math.